Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Lions Den Investments and Reviews. Sorry I didn't get a video out sooner this week. I think I only got like 2 videos out. Normally I do about 3. We had some internet outages here in our neighborhood, so internet was down for like literally 2 days. So I was pretty much out of service there, so I apologize for that, guys. But in today's video, I wanted to just take a brief look at the markets with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I also wanted to cover some of the news that's coming out on Bitcoin because, as you know, like if you watch some of the other videos that I did previously this week, I was talking about Bitcoin and how people were panicking, and Bitcoin took like an 11% drop, just a couple days ago, and it had people really freaked out. Um, but there was a lot of news coming out too on Bitcoin, and I just want to cover some of those articles for you as well and kind of explain what happened there and why Bitcoin dropped all of a sudden. So getting started with technical analysis here, we'll look at, actually let's go back to Bitcoin here. On the daily for Bitcoin, we had a retest on this downward trend, as you can see here. So we kept trying to come back up and retest that. We retested it 3 times, got rejected. We fell through weekly support, and right now we're hovering here at about $32,159. Now, if you listen to some of my other videos, um, I talk about how Bitcoin, on average, will retrace anywhere between 30 and 40% on a retracement, and that's normal for Bitcoin. So, if you look at where we're at here on the this last drop here that we got rejected at, like we only fell 23.95%, okay? And now we're bouncing back up again. So really, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think this is much to worry about uh, because ultimately, long term, you got to remember, it's all about forming higher highs and higher lows in an uptrend, okay? And if you look right now, we had a high up here, right, an all-time high. Well, we have to retrace so we can find a higher low. And right now, I think we're finding that higher low. Okay, and so your uptrend is going to your uptrend is going to continue, right? So if we wanted to, we could just take this trend line from right here, and now we could draw it out right about in there. Okay, and you still got an uptrend going. So that's why I'm saying don't really panic because Bitcoin's price dropped. If anything, it's a good thing. All right, for my lions out there watching, it's a good thing for us because all we have to do is back up the truck and we can load up on more Bitcoin at cheaper prices. Like, how many of you guys like that? I mean, if you like buying Bitcoin at lower prices, hit that like button because I sure as heck do. Um, and then the cool thing about that is when Bitcoin goes down, you know, it's going to draw these prices down on Ethereum and the altcoins as well. So you get better opportunities to buy in there too. You get basically fire sale discounts. So let's look at right now I'm just watching Bitcoin to see if we bounce off of this weekly support and we can maintain above that. Because if we do, we're heading back up, and we'll retest 40,000 here pretty soon. I would say probably in the next, by the end of February for sure, we should be back up there around like 40,000. And if not, I mean, if not, and let's say we drop lower here, we could come back down into this buy zone between 23,537 and 19,666. I don't think we'll get that low, but um, even if we drop down to those prices down in here, guys, you still get a higher low compared to where we are back here. Okay, so it's nothing to worry about really. I mean, I'm not even bothered by it. But if we look at Ethereum right now, Ethereum is retesting a resistance level around like $1,247 right now. So I'm watching to see if we break above that because we need to close we're on the daily chart here. We need to close another candle on the daily right here above 1,255 to send us higher up into that $1,300, $1,400 range again. So I'm watching it to see if we get rejected here at this resistance, because if we do, we're gonna come back down and we'll probably retest this bottom here on the Fibonacci retracement, where you can see the last couple of days. We bottomed out kind of right around here in like $1,100 range. So we may get rejected again here if we don't close above that resistance level of 1,255. And if we get rejected, I'm expecting this to kind of fall back down here into this $1,100 range again. If we go lower, again, it's just like Bitcoin. We're creating a new, um, let's see here. We're creating you got an all-time high up here. We'll drop back down. We'll create a new higher low, right? And then it's just like Bitcoin with what I was showing you there. You get a whole new uptrend um, support line that falls right there at that new higher low. So your trend is still up long term. Um, but that's Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, guys. The next thing I want to talk about though is this 11% drop, and you have to understand what these big banks and the big institutions are doing right now, because what they're trying to do is they come out with these articles, right? And it's hilarious because so many people just act emotionally based on what they read and what they see in the news, right? And then it leads to panic, and you get these sell-offs because people don't understand the markets. They don't understand how to invest um, and somewhat time the markets and get better buy positions so that they can make higher profits longer term. And what you have is stuff like this where you get like an article from Business Insider, and they're talking about here where Bitcoin falls 11% after a report suggests a critical flaw in the cryptocurrency called double spend, all right, that may have occurred. What I find funny about this is this just shows you how uneducated people are about the underlying technology with Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin uses a proof of work, all right? It's a consensus algorithm called the Nakamoto um, proof of work, okay? And basically what the proof of work consensus does is it allows a trust-based system with all the different nodes confirming transactions. The only way that those transactions can be confirmed and put onto the blockchain is you have to have um, 2/3 of the nodes on the network agreeing to what is being put out there. So if you get double spends, which is impossible on blockchain, by the way, if you were to get a double spend, it would have to be because you have a 51% attack, which means that somebody controls 51% of the nodes on the network. Okay, one party. And with Bitcoin, that's going to be dang near impossible to do. Even if you could, say, own 51% of the nodes, and you have complete control over the consensus algorithm on a blockchain, um, just being able to manipulate the data and get a double spend like this to occur would be like damn near impossible to do. So I look at titles like this and I just laugh because I'm like, they have no idea what they're talking about. Um, and so don't pay attention to stuff like this because it's meant to scare you out of the markets. So you're sitting here thinking, oh my God, like that's a huge issue. Well, if you read the article though, they say Bitcoin fell as much as 11% on Thursday after a report from BitMEX research suggested that a critical flaw called double spend may have occurred in the Bitcoin blockchain. Double spend is a highly feared scenario where a user is able to spend their bitcoins more than once. And I was just explaining to you can't do that in a proof of work consensus algorithm. Okay, um, if you're not familiar with blockchain and you want to know more about what I'm talking about here with consensus algorithms, you can go to my website, www.cryptoacademy.com, or I'm sorry, it's academyofcrypto.com. Gosh, um, go to my website there, academyofcrypto.com, and on the website, okay, I've got material out there for you to read up on, okay, and then also I'm gonna go ahead and let you know if you want, you can go to blockchaincouncil.org. I'm taking classes right now trying to get certified as an Ethereum expert so I can learn more about blockchains. And guys, I took a crash course over the last week on consensus algorithms. There's like 8 different types of consensus algorithms you can use on blockchains, and so you want to familiarize yourself with how the underlying technology works because the more you understand that, the more you're going to see stuff like this on these articles, and you'll just laugh at it because it's so ridiculous. Um, and they go on to say here, Bitcoin fell as much as 11% on Thursday, hitting its lowest level in nearly 3 weeks, as the popular cryptocurrency was hit with a double whammy that jolted faith in user base. First, Janet Yellen, President Joe Biden's nominee for Treasury as Secretary, suggested during her confirmation hearing on Tuesday that lawmakers curtail the use of Bitcoin because of its use in illicit activities. Again, they have no idea what they're talking about because Bitcoin and cryptos are distributed ledger technology, which is an accounting ledger. So this whole use case that they're talking about for illicit activities, if they want to, it's even easier now to pull up those transactions because they're permanent on the blockchain. All they have to do is pull from the ledger. Okay, they catch a criminal, um, they get a hold of their private keys that they were using because those people are going to end up handing them over eventually, trying to negotiate for like a lesser sentence or whatever. And once they got those private keys, all they have to do is pull up the transactions on the accounting ledger for Bitcoin, and you know you no longer have somebody who can be sneaky like what you can with a U.S. dollar. Okay, the thing with U.S. dollars, people can't track that, and you've got people working for cash under the table. You got drug dealers out there. You got all these people that are doing illicit activities with the U.S. dollar, but you can't trace that. I mean, they could, but it's going to be very hard for them to do because of critical errors from a centralized network perspective. People trying to track those little digits on the U.S. dollar that I've shown you in previous videos, stuff like that. So um, it's really just kind of laughable to look at. And don't let this stuff fool you guys. Don't let it scare you out of the markets, right? I keep saying in all my videos, have no fear, fear nothing. And this is what I'm talking about. Here's another one. This is from CoinDesk. CoinDesk says Guggenheim CIO says Bitcoin may have topped out for now. Um, and he goes on here saying Bitcoin could retrace all the way back to 20,000, right? What have I been saying for the last, like, I don't know, 2 months? I keep telling you we're going to go up and down in price. We'll make these, if we go back to Bitcoin, you end up making these new higher highs and higher lows, right? So can it go back to 20,000? Yeah, of course. Um, but the overall trend you have to keep in mind, long term is up. So, okay, what's your point? Like, so it goes down to 20,000. Big deal. I'm not going to go over this article because it basically, it aligns with everything I've been telling you. I'll leave a link in the description for you so you can go read that for yourself if you want. But, again, it just goes to show you that, you can read this stuff, but don't, just take it with a grain of salt. Because if you understand the markets and where we're going long term, with the wall of money that's coming in to the markets from big institutions, all they're trying to do is shake the weak hands and then buy up more for themselves at lower prices. Because if you own the assets for this underlying technology, guys, you have what they want, and they will get it from you and try to shake you out if they can. So do not play into their hands, okay? You want to be a lion, don't be a sheep, you know? Let's go over here real quick because here's the last article I want to cover, and this was Gary Gensler. I keep telling you guys that he's pro crypto. Okay, he's been appointed by Biden here on fintech regulation and blockchain, and I like this article because he kind of goes in and in the article the author here kind of spills out the background of Gary Gensler for you, and gives you a deeper insight into who Gary Gensler actually is. All right. So Joe Biden announced January 18th he would nominate MIT Sloan professor. Okay, he's an MIT Sloan professor, Gary Gensler, to lead the Securities and Exchange Commission. Gensler joined the MIT Sloan faculty in 2018. He previously led the Commodities Futures Trading Commission under the Obama administration. Okay, so this guy's got a lot of experience. Like I said, he was tied in with Wall Street, and that's your confirmation right there. In his time at MIT, Gensler's teachings and research has focused on blockchain technology, digital currencies, financial technology, and public policy. Below are a selection of ideas and insights from the Gensler including a recent working paper on deep learning and financial stability, and 2 free MIT open courseware classes he developed himself. All right, so this guy, like I said, Brian Brooks was the comp controller, uh, who just stepped down. That guy was a pro crypto guy, but dude, I can tell you right now, just looking at this, Gensler is probably just as good, if not more knowledgeable about cryptos and blockchain than what Brian Brooks was. And the beautiful thing about this guy's in charge of the regulations with the SEC for more clarity on these stable coins, like XRP and XLM. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he handles the XRP Ripple lawsuit case moving forward. And there's so much stuff going on right now, guys. So many different moves being made behind closed doors at a fast pace. Like, for example, um, I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the Ripple board members has now been moved and transferred over to work with the IMF on creating a digital central bank digital currency, basically through the IMF World Bank, for special drawing rights. If you're not familiar with what special drawing rights are, that's basically the IMF's currency that they use to help bail out other countries when liquidity starts freezing up and stuff like that. And so that's really interesting as well. I'm not going to get into that today because that's a whole nother video, but look into that, you know, and read up on it for yourself. It's really interesting what's going on there. But that's all I have for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, we're approaching 1,000 subscribers right now, so if you can hit that like button, it helps. It helps the YouTube algorithm. So just give that like button a little tappy tap there. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that said, guys, before I leave, just remember, fear nothing, my friends. Okay, fear nothing, because these markets are going to go up and down. They're going to try to shake you out, but if you have no fear, all right, you're gonna have solid hands. You're gonna be able to withstand, these roller coaster dips and ride the ride that we're on right now through this bull market, and you won't get shaken out, and you're gonna be very, very pleased at the end of this bull run. I can tell you that. So, guys, with that said, hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you here soon. Fear nothing, my friends. Talk to you later.